What is going on, my people? We are finally back again, bro. I hope everyone's doing absolutely fantastic. You don't know already, fam. Your Newcastle favorite is back again, bro. Here to preview every single fixture during Matchday 26 in the Premier League. Other topics that we will touch on in this video include the midweek fixtures. Arsenal extending their lead against Everton, absolutely destroying them 4-0. And then Liverpool winning Wolves 2-0. Also helping them jump to 6th place in the Premier League table. We're also very briefly gonna go over the FA Cup drama. We saw Spurs drop out of the FA Cup, loads of shocks. We're gonna go over everything that there is to go over. But before we do, like always, fam, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, and let's get cracking, bro. So match day 26, of course, kicks off on Saturday when Man City faced Newcastle at the Etihad Stadium. Man City, of course, doing well in their last game in the Premier League, but also during the week they won Bristol City 3-0 in the FA Cup, which is a great result for them. And in Newcastle, not looking so hot lately, or for a little while already. They lost their last game in the Carabao Cup final against Man United, and they lost against Liverpool, which is their last game in the Premier League. So I don't have as high hopes for Newcastle going into this game. For me, I think Man City definitely, without a doubt, have the upper hand going into this game. And I have no doubts that they can get the job done. So with that being said, I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Man City. I have my doubts of whether or not they can keep a clean sheet. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the 2-1 win for City. After that, we of course have Chelsea versus Leeds United. Chelsea, of course, lost their last game in the Premier League against Tottenham Hotspur 2-0. They've just looked a mess all season long. They spent big in the summer. They spent big in the winter transfer window. And that money has really gone nowhere. Even though they spent all that money, they still sit in 10th place. It's embarrassing, bro. As for Leeds United, they of course won their last game in the Premier League against Southampton 1-0. But in the FA Cup, they got absolutely murked, bro. Absolutely smoked out of their boots by Fulham. This should be a somewhat close game. I think Leeds United can definitely go into this game with chest, because they can definitely get something out of Chelsea, fam. I mean, Southampton got something out of Chelsea. Why can't Leeds? I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Moving on, we of course have Arsenal versus Bournemouth. Arsenal, of course, winning their game on Wednesday, their game in hand. Doing really well in that game, beating Everton 4-0. That Bukayo Saka goal was absolutely out of this world. That was a moment of magic from Bukayo, fam. Arsenal looking really good. I think I've said it already, but for me, after seeing that performance, and I'm not even gonna lie, for me, even after that Villa game, bro, when Jorginho scored that goal, for me, after seeing those two games, Arsenal, they're gonna win the Premier League this season, fam. I'm telling you, bro. I've seen enough. I think they will do it. City, they can try all that they want. They're still going with a good shout. They can definitely turn things around. But for me, Arsenal, the togetherness and the way they... just what they're doing, fam. I can see it. I really can see it. Like, you just get a feeling, you know, like when you watch a team, you get this feeling that they can make things happen. And I think Arsenal win the league this season. I really do. So with that being said, I don't think Bournemouth will turn up for this game. Their form away from home is absolutely awful. They got destroyed in their last game against Man City. It was 4-1, I believe. And Arsenal, when they play at the Emirates, I mean, the place is an absolute fortress, so I don't have any doubts that Arsenal can and will get the job done. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for the Arsenal. It could potentially be my more. I can see like a 3-0, 4-0, but I'll go 2-0 for the Arsenal. After that, we of course have Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. Aston Villa looking really good. They played really well in their last game against Everton. My man Ollie Watkins is on the absolute form of his life. Can he make it 6-6 against Crystal Palace? Crystal Palace, yeah, they've been looking like whatever. They didn't do too much in the last game against Liverpool. They drew 0-0. However, 1 point is definitely better than nothing. I think Aston Villa will definitely, you know, come out on top in this game. I think they will actually get the 3 points, believe it or not. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for Villa. That does seem like a hefty score, but yeah, I think they'll take advantage, fam. Crystal Palace, they can perform away from home, but that's usually against like the bigger sides, and that's no disrespect to Villa, but bigger sides like City and Arsenal, that's usually when Palace can like put in performances away from home. But a game like this, I don't think Palace will say much. And again, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for Villa. After that, we have a massive encounter between Brighton and West Ham. I reckon this should be a really good game. Brighton, it feels like ages ago, but their last game that they played in the Premier League was against Fulham, and they lost 1-0 in that game. However, this past Tuesday in the FA Cup, they won against Stoke City 1-0. You could say they kind of scraped it, but, you know, they did their job in, you know, progressing further in the competition. And as for West Ham, they looked good versus Nottingham Forest, which was their last Premier League game. Absolutely destroyed them. But when they played Man United in the FA Cup, fam, they looked good. They looked really good in that game. Man United never had a clue, but they absolutely bottled that game, bro. There's no doubt in my mind that Brighton have the upper hand going into this game. They have a much better side that is in much better form. West Ham, for me, their biggest drawback, besides the fact that they can't get results away from home, they really do struggle with that. Besides that, they just struggle to score goals. So I think that will be their biggest drawback. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Brighton. After that, we have Wolves versus Tottenham Hotspur at the Molineux Stadium. Wolves, of course, lost their last game in the Premier League, which took place on Wednesday when they faced Liverpool at Anfield, losing 2-0. They lost that game, but I would argue that the defense from Wolves was really playing against them. And as for Tottenham Hotspur, yeah, they did win their last game in the Premier League against Chelsea 2-0, but they really let themselves down in the FA Cup, losing 1-0 to Sheffield United. It's another trophy this season for Tottenham Hotspur. I don't think this game will be all that interesting, but I do believe that Wolves will come out on top in this game. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Wolves. The last and final fixture on Saturday for Matchday 26 in the Premier League is, of course, Southampton, who will take on Leicester City at St. Mary's Stadium. Southampton, I forgot who it was against, but they lost 1-0 in their last game in the Prem. And Leicester City, they were looking okay, but then again, at the same time, they haven't really said anything since their game against Tottenham when they won 4-1. They have not said anything since that game. It is definitely going to be a tough one for both of these sides. I kind of can't see either one of these sides getting exactly what they want from this game. It will be pretty close. Southampton, we already know how bad they've been this season, so I won't touch on that too much. But yeah, I can't see too much coming out of this game. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. Heading into Sunday, we of course have Nottingham Forest versus Everton. Nottingham Forest getting murked in their last game against West Ham 4-0, and then Everton, they got absolutely smoked out their boots by Aston Villa in their last game in the Prem. This game, I think, will be very leveled. However, I think Nottingham Forest can definitely go into this game with chest and possibly get the 3 points from this game. But I think it'll be a bit of a snooze fest. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. The last and final fixture on Sunday for Matchday 26 in the Premier League is a massive encounter between Liverpool and Man United at Anfield. This should be a really good game. Liverpool looking decent at the moment, picked up a little bit of form. They won their last game against Wolves 2-0. And it was a boring game, but they done well to get the result that they needed and wanted. And Man United, they won a trophy this season. Their last game was in the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle. But the game before that, which was their last Premier League game that we saw them in, they done well in that game as well. You can argue that Man United are a much better side because they are a much better side going into this game. Liverpool, for me, in my opinion, from what I've seen, they've been able to get the results that they need, but it's been like purple patch kind of stuff. You know, it hasn't been the most convincing performances. It's just been, you know, like the minimum. It really has been the minimum. It's really hard to set the two apart because, believe it or not, I think either one of these sides can get 3 points. Man United have not won at Anfield in ages, so that is in the back of my mind. But it's a derby, man. Anything can happen. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. And I think, honestly, for me, just playing into the whole like occasion, I think Liverpool possibly might get the 3 points from this game. But I'm sticking with the 2-2 draw. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the last and final fixture to conclude Matchday 26 in the Premier League comes on Monday when Brentford take on Fulham. Brentford, they drew their last game 1-1 in the Premier League, which maybe is just me, but that feels like it was ages ago. And then Fulham, their last game in the Premier League, they drew 1-1 against Wolves. And in the FA Cup, fam, they put Leeds United in an absolute spliff, winning them 2-0. That Polina goal was absolutely out of this world. What a goal, fam. For me, that was easily the best goal in the FA Cup this past week. That was an absolute banger, bro. But anyways, this should be a very leveled game. I am playing into the fact that Brentford are going to be just ever so slightly much rested for this game. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Brentford. Aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Premier League table heading into this weekend. We have Arsenal, who sit in first with 60 points, Man City in second with 55, Man United in third with 49, Spurs in fourth with 45, Newcastle in fifth with 41, Liverpool in sixth with 39, Fulham in seventh with 39, Brighton in eighth with 35, Brentford in ninth with 35, and Chelsea, who sit in 10th with 31. You, man, can read the rest of the table. But anyways, fam, I hope you lot did enjoy. If you did, like always, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. Let me know in the comments down below what match you're looking forward to the most, what player's going to play the best, what team's going to play the best, all that stuff in the comments down below. What did you make of the FA Cup, fam? All that stuff in the comments down below. I'm personally really looking forward to that Liverpool versus Man United game at Anfield. I think it should be really, really good. But anyways, fam, hope everyone's doing absolutely fantastic, and I will see you guys soon.